Hi, I'm Seychelle, a Jamaican international student from Harvard class of 2024. Welcome to Harvard Highlight, where I feature Harvard students, past and present, and their stories, showcase aspects of Harvard life and culture, and highlight interesting opportunities and communities at Harvard. If you're interested in an entertaining, engaging, and educational podcast on all things Harvard, you're at the right place. Coming up on Harvard Highlights.
The main reason I chose Harvard, again, Stanford was my top choice. It's because I had competing offers, and Harvard gave me $100 more.
$100?
$100. Oh my God, yes. There was a big Halloween fete that broke we call it the Soch. It's a part of Harvard. It's one of the biggest spaces, party spaces. We broke it.
What would be the top 3 things that you would recommend, and also what do you think worked well for you to set yourself apart? Hello everyone, welcome to another episode. My name is Seychelle, Harvard class of 2024, and I'm here with...
I'm Jama Willis.
And give them the Harvard introduction.
Hi guys, my name is Jama Willis, but I go by Jama here at Harvard. I'm a senior studying government and African American studies with a secondary in arts, film, and visual studies. I'm originally from Kingston, Jamaica. Born in New York, raised in Jamaica, live in California. That's the story I always tell people.
Okay.
Oldest of 6. And yeah.
Alright, so we're going to jump into that. I always just ask everybody to give the Harvard intro and then go from there. So yeah, tell me a little bit more about. So I know that you grew up in Jamaica and moved to the States and all of that. But as you're mentioning, you kind of have this unique story in that you were born in the U.S. and came back.
Right.
So kind of give me what was your upbringing leading up to coming to college?
Yeah. So yeah, I was born in New York because my mom, I had complications when I was younger.
Oh.
So there was a lot of surgical issues that were wrong with me as a baby in the womb.
Oh, wow.
That couldn't be fixed in Jamaica because at the time they didn't necessarily have the surgical team and the doctors to assist her. So she went to New York, got the care that she needed. And then I was 3 months old when we came back to Jamaica because her life was still in Jamaica at the time. And yeah, I was raised there my entire life, well, until 14. I went to Laurel's Basic School, went to Wilma's Boys for high school. That's first and second form. And then I moved here for the...
Middle school.
No, the start of high school.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So where exactly where would you call your hometown in Jamaica?
Kingston. Kingston, it's Deanery Terrace, Deanery Road, by St. Joseph's Hospital, by Cloncarty High School.
Okay, yeah.
So yeah, by there.
I see. In terms of any fond memories, do you look back and, especially having left to go to high school, do you look back on any childhood memories that, I don't know, into your adulthood you are still fond of, or how is it reflecting on your childhood?
Yeah, I would say in the moment, it's when I was living in Jamaica, it was good. But in hindsight, because I'm a fully realized version of myself, I always say that Jamaica gave me my blackness. And it deep rooted me into what it meant to just be black and excellent and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Because in Jamaica, my mother, she played for Jamaica's women's national volleyball team.
Okay, wow.
And I played for the junior national team when it came to beach volleyball. And so I just grew up around people who were good at what they did. Represented Jamaica at Arizona, which is the regional volleyball tournament. My mother.
Oh, okay.
I wish when I left, I was coming up in the scene.
Yeah.
So I never had time to fully develop all those skills, which I wish that was the summer thing that I felt bad about.
I
Like
see.
the one regret I had, but the fact that I came here to the U.S., I got, the education, the tools, the skills, the mentorship that I needed to get me to Harvard University.
I see. Wow. So I didn't know that like the sports, because I know that you do volleyball here, but I didn't know. And I remember you told me you did volleyball in high school, but I didn't know you also had that like sports in the family, that sort of thing.
Because obviously sports is big in Jamaica.
Yeah.
And I ran for primary school champs.
Yeah?
I ran for Wolmer's for like first and second form.
As in at champs?
No, I was at champs.
Okay.
But I never, when I said reserves, that was me.
You run the heats and so.
Yeah, everybody.
And let the real people go on rest.
Yeah.
What a time. Sports in high school was really fun for me.
Yeah.
So it's really nice reflecting on that. And I know volleyball was a big deal at Wolmer's in particular. So
because we're the best Wolmer's,
yes.
Period.
I get caught at geese.
Exactly.
Wow, so that's interesting. I wanted to ask, so in terms of talking about this is where you're looking back and you really felt like Jamaica kind of set that foundation for like showing and displaying Black excellence, especially in the context of sports. I think that's interesting because I think even for me coming here, this whole shift, especially in the U.S., talking about the Black experience has been new for me. Coming to the States in 2021, so I can't imagine what that journey has been like. And I think that leads into my next question, which is talking about you started at Wolmer's and now you're moving to the States. What was that transition like for you?
Yeah, I mean...
And under what were the circumstances for that? So
my mom had gotten married to my stepdad, and he was stationed in the military in the U.S. He's also Jamaican. They were high school sweethearts, met when they were 16, got into a decade-long... He was in a decade-long marriage. She was in a decade-long whatever with my father. He got divorced. She left my dad at the same time, and then they found each other, and then 6 months later, we moved to the United States. And I would say that transition was a bit rough at first, because it was like I was only experienced a Jamaican educational system, a Jamaican way of living, and coming up here, and especially to rural America, because where I live in California, it's the high desert, and nobody leaves the desert.
Oh, I see.
So it's that type of community where if you don't have your head set on straight, you either get lost by drugs, gangs, sex, all of that stuff. Wow. And a lot of them, like my classmates now, who I graduated with, a lot of them are pregnant, working at McDonald's, which nothing is wrong with that. That's their life. Yeah, but that's just not what my parents wanted me to do and not what I wanted to do. So it was a bit rough at first, but then, I got my bearings, and my mom just was just like, you don't have to follow everybody. You can do your own thing, and you want to make it no matter what. So
you touched a little on the education system. I can only speak to my transition to coming here at Harvard and seeing a few differences as it relates to the biggest thing for me is how they teach math at Harvard. And I imagine that, like, I've heard stories like where, Jamaica is praised for its education system because you find that people who are struggling back home, all of a sudden them go foreign and them shell up the place. So I kind of got the sense that, like, we were kind of, our method was doing pretty well in comparison. But you said that you had that was a part of the challenges of like adapting. So
Yeah.
could you talk a little more about what the differences were and like how you navigated that?
Yeah. I would say it's like, for me, education in Jamaica was never an issue. Like, I did well on, what's it called when you go from...
Your GSAT?
GSAT, exactly.
Yeah.
I did well on GSAT, got into ULMAs, and like they had amazing education. I was amazing when it comes to mathematics in Jamaica. Once I came to the States, all the classes, the public school educational system was not the best. So at that time, it was a little bit easier for me to strive. So like, people had a hard time in classes. I never had that, because it was just like, exactly. Yeah. I'm just like, I know geography, I know mathematics. Yeah. Just put me in these pre-AP classes, advanced placement, and so yeah, that's what happened. It was just a matter of then being the only kid who was black in those classes, and then having to represent. He's the only black kid. He has to represent his entire the culture or representation of everybody else. And I was like, even though I am black, I'm also Caribbean, or like a first gen, like I just got here, so it's a different experience happening at the same time.
It is like a lot of pressure. I remember when I came here, even though it was, even before I stepped foot at Harvard, on the Zoom classes, like, I was nervous. I was just like, I don't want to see him dancing at the people in class, like, and a lot of, and then it took some time for me to be like, wait, I get this. Like, to this day, I haven't come across like a class where, I didn't get it eventually, or, like, things just, things were just beyond me, or that sort of thing. So I definitely, but initially for me, there was this level of like doubt. I don't know if it was because of the Harvard thing. For me, it had never been an issue of like worrying about race per se. But that pressure of like, oh, I am representing, Jamaica or someone. Like, I felt I didn't want it to be a case where I said something wrong and they're like, these Jamaicans don't know anything. So that's
I would say, for me, the transition from high school here to college at Harvard was never, it was more so about like socioeconomic status and how different people adapt and move in certain ways. Because again, like, in the area of California, again, it was very rural, very low income background. So then going to a place like Harvard where everybody has wealth, it shows you how many people have prepped. It shows you how many people have already had the classes, the skills, know about this information. When I was going to my classes freshman year, I was just like, I don't know what's happening. I don't know what they're talking about. I feel overwhelmed. Like, it was just a different thing.
I see.
And people don't tell you how much your first semester here matters.
It does, yeah.
Like, it really sets up your GPA for your rest of your track year. Luckily, I have a great GPA, and I don't have to worry about that. But again, that transition from high school to college was a bit,
So where you're adjusting to high school. You are trying to navigate those social and cultural differences. Where in all of that did you decide or start thinking about the next step, and that being coming to Harvard?
COVID. It was very much COVID, because I'm grateful for the time that COVID gave for students like myself just to prepare. Because I was just going through high school, like, there's so many things that I want to do. I was doing mock trial, starting a volleyball team, doing track, doing American football, but I wasn't necessarily thinking about college until all of that happened, and then I had to sit down and think about my future, think about where I wanted to go. So And a lot of people, when I would tell them I want to go to Stanford, Stanford was my top choice. I'm applying to Stanford, Harvard, UCLA. They're like, oh, because they didn't think I was going to get in, because nobody leaves the town. Like, you stay in the town. So I knew from that moment that, like, I was determined to get out. I didn't want to come back, because that town was not for me. I hate small cities. I love a big city. And so I wanted to be in Boston. I wanted to be on the East Coast where I could easily travel to New York, travel to different places, and yeah, do that all the time.
Wow. So during that process where you're preparing for college and all of that, where did you get support? Because you are I would imagine, like, coming to the States, you're also applying for these big schools. Did you get, you're in a small town, so where did you get resources, guidance to navigate that?
Yeah, that's another different thing. It's like, I want to say my parents knew a lot about this, but they didn't. And at the time, like, my stepdad, he was working. He was the only one working in our family, so he had a lot of pressure on him. My mom, I had 3 siblings at that time, so she was also taking care of the kids. Right. And when she wasn't there, I would be taking care of them. So it's like going to school, taking care of your brothers and sisters, then also thinking about college applications. In terms of resources, it's like I watched YouTube videos, I watched TikToks at the time to just get a feel of what people did, who are the professors. I did my research when it came to all of this. The guidance counselors at my school, even though they tried their best, it just was not enough, and they know that as well. So it was just a matter of doing the research on my own and just trying to go out, and hustle and get everything together. Yeah. And they were very accommodating when it came to getting me letters of recommendation, getting me all the material, recommending me to financial aid officers and things like that.
Yeah, I feel like everyone's story, based on what I've been hearing, has been different, and sometimes it is the case. You really have to be the driver of this goal. Like, if it is that that you want to make it out and you want to, like, you're dead set and, like, I need an option, you're gonna find a way to figure that part out and try to set yourself up. So what was it like then? Did you get to tour Harvard?
Well, it was COVID, so we did virtual tours.
Right, I see. So what were you intending to study when you got here?
So I was hoping to do government and philosophy. Then I came here, did a philosophy class, and then I was like, I'm never taking this again. Fair. So I just dropped that real quick.
Okay, so only government,
and then I took African American studies. Okay. And I was like, okay, I can do this.
So did you take a class freshman year, or?
I took a class sophomore fall. It was Henry Louis Gates' Introduction to African and African American Studies.
I see. Oh, so right about the time when you were about to declare, or did that come after?
About to declare.
Okay. So, I guess backtracking a little, if you were to give people advice about applying to Harvard, what would be the top 3 things that you would recommend, and also, like, what do you think worked well for you to set yourself apart?
Okay. Number 1, just find out all the resources that you can, knowing where you want to go, what you want to do, how you want to get there, and then having a plan once you do get there. Because the moment I got into Harvard, I was like, yay, for like 5 minutes. And I was like, okay, what's next? Okay. Yeah, you have to have that mentality going into it. Number 2. Yeah. God damn it. Number 2, having a strong support system around you. Like, I had my friends when I was going through this, college counselors, again, who helped me. And just having that good stable support system, even if you're in a small community, that's saying, you know, man, you can do it.
Yeah.
I think you have something in you. And then just 3, having that boastful confidence in your own self, knowing that you have the skills, you know your story, because the biggest thing you need to know is you must have a story in order to get here. And yeah, that's it.
Yeah, and in terms of what gave you that edge, what do you think? Have you seen your file?
Yeah, I saw my file
okay.
2 weeks ago. Yeah.
Any thoughts?
Let me see how you phrase this. To summarize my file, because you can't really look at your you can't like publicize your admissions file or something.
Oh, okay.
Basically, they said that he's a force. They said my application was overdone, which is like, you know, okay, we get your story, we get all of that, but it was basically them understanding how I was able to flourish and create opportunities for myself, given it was such a liminal, small space, and that I've been in so many small spaces my entire life. Like, how has he able been to, you know, do all the things that he has been, given just his circumstances.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, and
so,
like, some other things was that I went to community college, so I have my associate's degree. I did the United States Senate Youth Program, and they only picked 2 people from California.
Wow.
And yeah, so I got to talk to U.S. senators and things like that. And then volleyball in Jamaica was also another thing.
Okay, so definitely showing that resilience, you know, to overcome adverse or, you know, or even just like, what would you call it, like limited resources, and also, you know, clearly excelling in your areas of interest, whether that's sports and government. Yeah, wow. I agree. I do like those like top 3 things to think about when applying to Harvard. I think for me, I kind of struggled a little on the confidence side, and it wasn't until I had that like reassurance from my mentor at Versan, who was just like, I remember when she was suggesting universities for me to apply to. Harvard was her top pick, and just seeing that she saw that in me, like, I don't know, I feel like everybody around me saw Harvard before I did. Like, sometimes I struggle with that, with realizing that, yeah, I'm actually standing out. Like, this is not normal. So that was a good push for me, and then I started to see that, you know, I think I was just like willing to shoot my shot, you know. So I think definitely that support, everything on the money for sure. And so walk me through, like, you're a senior here now, you're like seeing the finish line. How does that feel like? Do you think you've gotten everything that you wanted to get out of Harvard? Because you said right after you got in here, it's like, okay, what next? So
what's next is that I'm applying for graduate schools, because I want to do my master's at Cambridge, PhD at Oxford, and then law school, Yale.
Nice.
Yeah. So I'm still getting there, like submitting all the applications, waiting to hear back. And then in terms of if I've gotten everything from Harvard, not just yet. A few things that I'm hoping to like solidify by the end of the semester, and then I can say I fully have gotten everything. And then submitting my senior thesis next semester, and that's it.
And then you get your pictures by the steps, everything. Wow. Well, I think I've always kind of seen you as kind of the man with the plan, like very driven, very I don't know if calculated would be. Not in a negative sense, but like meticulous would probably be a better word. Where does that come from, you'd say?
I think for me is that, and I always tell my friends this because they're a bit more privileged than I am. I know if I fall, nobody else is going to pick me up but myself.
Facts.
So I will not, because I know once I graduate as well, I don't have the luxury of saying, oh, I'm still at Harvard, so Harvard can help me out. Because Harvard gives a lot of financial aid. They're very helpful. But once I graduate, I'm on my own. Yeah. So I'm going to ensure that I have my cushion to land on if I ever do so fall. God so forbid I do.
Yeah.
But I need to keep pushing, and I cannot stop until I get where I need to go.
And you're going to get there.
Yes.
I see it. And let's talk about that a little. Because I feel like it's not emphasized enough, kind of like there's this idea that because of course Harvard gives so much, you know, and like in terms of financial aid, and we have lots of resources that I'm very grateful for. But at the end of the day, I feel like, you know, the playing field still isn't level. And it's important to recognize that. Sometimes, even as I'm thinking about wrapping up my last semester here, I'm just like, gosh, I'm going to miss Daddy Harvard because, like, it really did treat me nice. And thinking about going back into the real world, it's a little scary. And I have to realize I have to start weaning myself off of, you know, thinking about, you know, where am I going to stay? How am I going to, you know, take care of myself financially? And, you know, especially since, like, I don't live here. Harvard is the only place that I know. It's also like, you know, I'm going to have to start laying new foundation again. And I'm just like, wow, yeah, it's really going to be a new chapter for real.
And that's why I always tell my friends, like, do not leave until you know where you're going. You've gotten your final offer. You've gotten that final admission into whatever school it is.
Right.
Because the moment you leave, you're on your own. So take as many gap semesters as possible, but just make sure you have a plan.
That's good advice, for sure. I wanted to talk a little bit more. So you are... so you're in your application phase, doing your thing. I might have to ask you some questions about that because I'm also thinking about going to grad school, but I want to take some time because God knows I have no clue what I want to study. So, but it seems like, you know, you really want to go into government and law and that sort of thing. When did you... It seems like, was there a time in high school that really solidified that path for you?
Yeah.
And what really draws you to that field?
Yeah, so it was, again, COVID. And at the time, I was working for he was the Democratic chair of the Democratic caucus in California, Assemblyman Mike Gibson. And he had introduced a bill that banned the chokehold for police departments after the murder of George Floyd. And so I was just helping him out on his team as an intern. He also asked me to do like a youth assembly or a youth town hall, just emphasizing what it means to have protections like this, what it means to be black and brown in California, and what it means to be, you know, at fear of your life when the police is around, things like that. So that kind of pushed me in the direction of politics. And I didn't think I was ever going to do politics. I always wanted to be a soldier when I was growing up.
Really?
Yeah. So the fact that I got here, I'm just like, okay, we're keep going.
Interesting. Because I feel, I don't know, I didn't grow up in a very, like, my mom wasn't very political or anything like that.
My mom either, no.
So I always wonder, like, how do people, start to get interested? I feel like I've been trying to keep up with local politics. I'm not really very well versed, but I think even getting older and being able to vote now and be a part of that process is something that I think in recent years I've been more interested in educating myself about. But in terms of politics, are you more are you interested in mostly, like, what was it like learning more about the US political system? And then I know recently, or throughout your time too, you've also been more involved in like politics for in the Caribbean. So what has that been like?
So when I want to say that I didn't even know much about politics in the Caribbean until I came to Harvard. And then I started to learn more about politics with the United States when I got to California.
Okay.
Because again, it's like a whole different system back then versus here. But yeah, I think what Seychelles is referring to is that I run a nonprofit organization here called Harvard Undergraduate Foreign Policy Initiative. I'm one of the co-presidents, and we basically do foreign policy consulting for foreign governments, private businesses, NGOs, and then what's the other one? The U.S. government as well. And I've worked for the U.S. Department of State, U.S. Department of Justice, U.S. Department of Defense, and U.S. Department of Commerce. So different internships and so forth. But yeah, it's like it's been a bit of a shift because I understand how the U.S. government works. And even though there are some flaws in the system, there are a lot of things you can gain from it. And I understand a lot about how the system in the Caribbean works. And I think it's very flawed, and we just need a lot of push in the Caribbean, in my opinion. There are just so many laws that we have to look into, so many critical things that need to happen, that I'm hoping that what I get from Harvard I can help out, in the Caribbean in some capacity.
I know, and this is kind of tied to your thesis, right? So you want to share a little more what you're working on? Yeah. Up to you.
So my thesis focuses on decriminalizing homosexuality within the Caribbean, specifically the buggery laws, which are still in effect in the Caribbean, in some islands, Jamaica being the most resistant island. And I come up with a theory basically working with Professor Stephen Levitsky. He's a professor in the Gov department here, just explaining why decriminalization has taken so long within, the Anglo-Caribbean context.
Right.
And that's because of laws prior to Jamaica's independence, clauses from colonialism that says whatever laws you had before you became independent will stay on the books after independence, which don't make any sense. And the fact that Jamaica is still, their final court is in the UK, which is the Privy Council, which doesn't make any sense if you're an independent nation. So just kind of looking at those systems and understanding why it's taken so long, and what do Jamaicans think about that? What do Caribbean people think about that in general?
Yeah, so how long have you been working on your thesis?
So I'm a Mellon Mays fellow here. They help you out with your PhD and masters and things like that. Okay. And I got with them last year, so I've been working on this for the past 2 years.
Wow, okay. And how do you feel in terms of you have 1 semester left? How has the synthesis of all the data you've collected? I know you've done lots of interviews and talking with people.
So I've talked to Caribbean politicians or political elites. I just came back from the Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting, which is where the King of England was and the Queen of England. I talked to a lot of Commonwealth representatives and what they think as well. I've spoken to activists, spoken to religious opposition, and it's just a matter of understanding the bigger picture. Right. And what everybody has told me is the work that you're doing is good, and it's very, very much critical for the time, But everybody just says that Jamaica, because we're from Jamaica, is gonna be, it's not gonna happen in Jamaica anytime soon. That's what they always say. And they always say, be careful of the work that you're doing, because it can either help or hinder the kind of your position in Jamaica, or how people interpret the work. So that's just something I have to be mindful of when I'm going forward.
But I mean, do you think that in terms of your plans of like going to grad school and then being a lawyer, I presume, like, do you think that has bearings on those like aspirations?
Bearings. Well, the reason I want to go to all these schools is so that I can understand it from the highest level possible, to ensure that I'm not spreading misinformation,
Right.
I'm not telling lies, that it makes sense and people can understand it. And another aspect is that the department at Oxford I want to go to is the International Development Department, and it was the same department that actually fed or distributed the laws that criminalize buggery to this day. So I want to go and kind of rectify with that history and hopefully actually change it, or help everybody on the ground who's working to change it.
Right. I wanted to ask you, because I know you just had your event with Jason. What's his last name again?
Jason Jones, and then Lady Phil.
And he mentioned like he kind of has he's done a lot of work in his lifetime, and he spoke a little bit about passing on the torch, and I was wondering, do you see this becoming like you taking on that baton, or do you think you do something similar and like championing that cause as your career?
So for me, the reason I'm doing this type of work is, and it goes back to something that I said earlier, which is that while Jamaica gave me a full sense of my blackness, it also deprived me of, being fully out and who I am.
Right.
And that's something that's a non-negotiable for me now. I'm 21. I've gone through hell. I've gotten here with the support and limited resources. And it's something that I want to invest back in my community. I want to invest back in Jamaica. I want to invest back in the Caribbean, because I truly believe it's the best region in the world.
Yeah.
However, if y'all are not going to accept me, then I'm not going to, do all of that. It has to be something where you recognize everybody, no matter how slim it might be, no matter how small the population it might be, everybody's there to be respected, period.
Yeah.
That's my view on it. In terms of him saying passing the baton, I view this work as I want these laws to get eradicated, because again, they're from like the 1850s.
Right.
And come on now, we're like what, 60 years of independence? And I'm just like, there's so many other issues that we need to work on. When I was working for the U.S. Embassy in Trinidad and Tobago, they had a big just data breach. And cybersecurity, digital AI is one of the biggest things posing our region, climate change, migration, brain drain. A lot of people who are leaving are not coming back and are not reinvesting into their own communities.
Right.
So there's so many other issues that we need to talk about. And the fact that we're still harping on laws from 1850s, that makes no sense to me. Yeah. And again, this is just for me personally and how I view it. I know other people, they have their own internal metrics, but I just hope it doesn't. All I'm saying is it shouldn't be something that stops a person from coming back and reinvesting into a place where they call home.
Right.
That's it.
Honestly, I feel like either way, with the head that you have on your shoulders, like, if you try this, if you work on this project and really get either, there are two things: you'll either get the progress or it might be a no. But I think either way, in those two situations, I feel like, success is still definitely in your future, and I'm confident that, if Jamaica won't be a part of that, you'll be you'll have many networks, and you already have established yourself in like U.S. politics, and I think you'll make an impact anywhere you choose, to be honest.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, in terms of, I guess, what message would you have for like somebody who is in the Caribbean? They're not sure if Harvard is like a space for them. What would you say to that person? Like, why should they apply, and why should they choose Harvard? Yeah.
Well, for me, it's like the main reason I chose Harvard. Again, Stanford was my top choice. It's because I had competing offers, and Harvard gave me $100 more.
$100?
$100.
Wow. $100 can be the difference, folks.
So just make sure whoever you're selecting and whoever is choosing you, they give you the biggest amount, and you feel sustained, and you don't have to worry about anything financially. That's number one.
Yeah.
And I would say that, honestly, being from the Caribbean, you have one of the biggest advantages, because you just know who you are so young in life compared to a lot of students here who still figure it out. Like, they instill in you the drive in education. They tell you must not follow other people, make your own path. They tell you, like, they invest sports, those kind of skills and talents. Like, look at Julian Alfred. She went to the U.S. She did track in the United States and then won first goal for St. Lucia.
Right.
Like, things like that, all bred and born out to the Caribbean. So we are, I just think we're the best people. And the fact that we have so many different diverse people from everywhere, it's just, I love it. And no matter what, you guys can definitely come to Harvard as well. Like, where you are, your borders should not be a determinant as to if you should or should not apply here. Because you have everything. You just have to believe in yourself, and you just have to take that initiative to then apply.
That is it. And talk to me a little bit more about, you mentioned your involvement in HUFPI, but tell me about like what the Caribbean community has been like for you here. Like, what has your experience been? I know you're on board for a year or two. Like, how? Be honest. What are your thoughts on the Caribbean community here? And like, let's start there.
I went away for a semester.
Right.
And I was on board my freshman and sophomore year. And even though, that was 2 years ago, I went away for a semester, I still was able to come back to a community that supported me putting on the event that I did. So it's a very supportive community that I can mostly say. The people everybody's multifaceted. Like, Zaria does dancing.
Right.
You do a podcasting YouTube show. She does, is it engineering or mathematics?
Yeah, bioengineering.
Exactly. Like, everybody just has their individual niches that you're never going to get bored of them. And I'm just happy about that.
Yeah. And you were social chair, inclusivity chair?
Yeah. So I just put on parties. That's literally it.
Yeah. I keep hearing stories from about the Halloween Fete. Which, is coming up again.
Yeah. I was I there the first time? I don't even... Oh my God, yes. There was a big Halloween Fete that broke we call it the Soch. It's a part of Harvard. It's one of the biggest party spaces. We broke it. And because of that one party, they instituted so many rules and regulations. and so many things you have to go
I
through
don't think
now.
they've had a party like that at the Soch ever since.
Because we invited everybody from Boston,
Mm-hmm.
so many like Tufts, Northeastern, BU, BC, and all the Caribbean kids came here,
Yeah.
and it was a good time.
Yeah, it was intense.
People were fighting to get in through all different doors. That was good.
And I'm looking forward to like bringing that back. Halloween Fest this year is this upcoming weekend.
Yeah,
Looking forward to that.
I won't be there.
Where are you going?
There's a Princeton conference, a Caribbean conference, so I have to.
see.
Yeah.
Well, I'll let you know how it goes. Hopefully my costume gets here in time
Yeah.
because
Me too.
it's Amazon is
It's slow these days.
yeah, it's playing with me. But I'm looking forward to it. I'm trying to like I think for me, especially since this was my first time coming to the States, like when I was going through all of those like culture shocks and like adapting to this new like climate, new social norms, everything, I really appreciated, having the Caribbean Club there as a space
Mhm.
to kind of deal with that homesickness, like have familiar faces, even
Yeah.
people that understood me, because sometimes everyone's different.
Mhm.
I think for a long time I kind of said to myself, I'm not even going to try with this American accent because my American accent is terrible. And so I really just like ran with it, and I was just like, well, who won't understand will understand. Of course I
Mhm.
spoke standard English.
Mhm.
But it was nice to come to Caribbean Club and like talk to people like Cheyenne, and Cheyenne could understand me. I was just like, girl, you want to know this, that, and the third.
Mhm.
So I thought that was nice, and I think it's also important as you're choosing which college you're going to, make sure that they have a good Caribbean presence, or like whichever community you belong to, that there's some sort of presence there, because that's definitely important. And I think I was talking with some of the other guests, and really I think we're all optimistic that the community will continue to grow and evolve and that sort of thing. So I'm very happy of like how like I'm going to be leaving soon, and I'm confident that the space is in good hands, and hoping that more people will join and
Please,
contribute
we need
to
more
that.
numbers, please.
Yes. And actually some of the guests that are coming on, like I think with each one I'm kind of sharing a little bit more about how the definition of Caribbean looks very different within the club, and seeing how each people can identify with the space is also pretty cool. And I think even bringing different people on the show is really I think helpful for not just people from the Caribbean to see like, it's gonna look a little different, but also like when hopefully like persons who are like, I'm kind of Caribbean, but like, no, come to the space and like get involved with the culture too. So I'm also hoping that that can be a side effect of this podcast. But I mean,
and also I must say that like even when the alumni, they graduate, they're also really supportive as well. Because I went to Barbados, and Trey, he did track. You know Trey?
Trey.
No, you don't know Trey?
No, from where?
From Barbados.
Oh.
But yeah, he was also in the Caribbean Club. He was, I think, alumni chair or social chair. And when I went, he took me around Barbados. He was really nice.
Nice.
And yeah, like we make sure we stay connected in the long run too.
I've been trying to. I feel like everybody comes and they're just like, "Oh, we need to plan a trip." That trip has not come yet. And hopefully,
well, she was the one that was planning the trip to Jamaica.
It's true. It's finally here. I am organizing trips to Jamaica exclusively for college students to have an authentic Caribbean experience. Introducing Uni Escapes, my new travel business that offers curated spring break trips starting spring 2027. Whether it's recreational or service-based, I have a package for you. Follow at Uni Escapes on Instagram for more info. Applications open the fall prior. But yeah, I think off the top of my head, that was like most of my questions. You have any questions for me? Like,
no questions, but also just shout out to Princeton Caribbean Club because they do a good job as well.
All right, there you have it. But yeah, I really appreciate you stopping by and sharing and just like getting to know you a bit more. And I definitely sure that someone will benefit from the advice and just hearing your story a bit more.
Hopefully.
Yeah. All right. So that's it. That's a wrap on today's episode. Thank you so much for joining and sticking around. If you have any questions, please drop them in the comments, like and share the video. Until next time.
Okay. No, play some soca music.
Thanks for watching Harvard Highlight. Subscribe for more content. Check the links in the description for more information from this episode. Feel free to ask questions and leave a comment. And before you go, like this video.